Well, let's just do a quick sort of physio check. How has everybody come through the weekend? Anybody pick up a knock?
Yeah, I would say until now we have a really good feedback. Only player was a little bit with problems in the last few days was Twine. Yeah, so Twine feels a little bit, and we have to look tomorrow. Is he ready or is he not ready? But we have one day more time, and then we decide he will be with us or not with us.
And with 2 games in a week, I guess that sort of plays into the whole having a lot of travelling, a lot of running for the whole squad, not just for him.
Yeah, I think of course this is the big amount of loads between games like that, and but we will watch tomorrow which players are on a good level, and of course these are so the games between that we have also think on the one or other rotation.
You had the nice situation of having a bit more on the bench back at the weekend, and I guess particularly with someone like Cam, there's a desire to get him involved straight away, but with such a long time out, you've got to be careful.
Yes, and that's the I would say the special word here to be careful and absolutely with him. I think he was out 7 months. Yeah, so and he has not the the trainings and game load in his legs what we want, that we can think on him to be a starter player. So right now is, I would say, the first time that we can think on some minutes. Yeah, and tomorrow could be I think so the kickoff in this way.
Okay, and I suppose from that point of view, Jason's injury was a lot shorter, more relatively. So is he a bit closer to feeling like you can use him how you would like to?
Yes, Jason is much closer. Yeah, on the same time, in exchange with all my specialists here in the club. Yeah, and external. Yeah, so we have in the end also with him a clear plan how high can be the load in weeks like that, and also I think we have to be smart in which direction we go with him tomorrow, and also strategical wise on Saturday.
And because of what's happened this season, and some injuries can't be avoided, that's part of the game. But having had the sort of the issues with squad depth that you have, has that changed the way you look at these things at all, or is it very much just keep on going and hope for a little bit more luck?
I am not so the coach to hope on the luck. I think we have to do everything that we make the coincidence or bring the coincidence so less and down as possible. Yeah, I think this is important. And when we have a injury topic, what we have right now, and we would don't think about it, what can we do better? I think then we would be not professional. So in this direction, we have to do, of course, we did a big evaluation about some things, and we have to we have some measures now, and how we do it better, with clear missions, clear task, and then hope we can bring players back and hold them back on the field. I think this is now the big mission, that every single club has injuries. This is crystal clear. When we look in other clubs, then they have also injuries. But I think the numbers of injuries what we had, and how much re-injuries we had, I think in this direction we will do the job a little bit different, and of course better. Yeah, we have to improve something, but we are I would say, on a good way.
So obviously, I'm sure that involves a lot of different people doing things slightly differently. Can you give us a sort of a broad example of something that you're doing differently now that hopefully will help with that?
I would say how we plan our process to bring players back, I think this was always on a really good level. Yeah? So I would say on the paper we are really good. It's more so how we execute our topics on the field, and in which direction we bring players back. And for me it's super important, of course, that I have from the head coach standpoint the players back always soon as possible. But for me, it's important I have the players back, so soon as possible, but also so stable as possible. And in this direction, we have and plan very, very clear with the right load, not always with suspenders and belts. Yeah, this means not that we are only carefully. So I think we have to do the right things on the right time. And in this direction, I think the last few months show us some good improvements.
We're a good chunk of the way through the season now, probably about a third of the campaign gone. How, in terms of the general evolution of the team, you come in getting to know the players first of all, and then everything else that's sort of happened since, how happy are you with how far you've got so far, and how much more do you feel that there is still to go?
Yeah, I'm in more directions, of course, really happy. Of course, results makes the biggest difference. When you look on the table, we are on the 4th place. This looks nice at the moment, and on the same time we realize how close is everything together. When you have a bad week, something can happen and the table looks not so nice. Yeah? So in more direction, I would say we know exactly what we have to do that we can win games. I would say with a little bit different style, with a little bit different systems. And in this direction, I would say we are really happy here. Yeah? Of course, I would be super happy when I have a bigger selection. I have in the end not long-term injuries like Joey Williams, Luke McNally. So Luke is normally a starter player. He's, I would say, from the profile, one of the most interesting players in the championship in the centre back position. So we have a player on this level not available. Yeah. And I think these are players, they would make in the end over a whole season, they can make a difference. And in this direction, yeah, I would be more happy when we have a bigger selection on players, they are available, and then we are, of course, and this makes the difference. This shows us also the last few years which teams they had success. This was always the teams they have, of course, a big selection and players available.
Because when it is so tight in the table, and you're right, there are a lot of teams within a few points of each other. It quite often is those little things, isn't it, that can make the difference, whether it's availability or finding a way of playing or that everybody can really buy into or getting the crowd behind it. There are all these tiny little things, and if you can get more of those right than wrong, that's where you have seasons to remember.
Yes, I think, and this is also so the challenge. Yeah, we have some problems with injuries. All the other clubs has also problems with injuries. Yeah, so this is also crystal clear. But we have, of course, outstanding fans behind us. Yeah, so the mood, the atmosphere, the energy, the vibe in the stadium is outstanding. This is also a really big detail to push our boys. And yeah, the togetherness here in the club between my boys, between coaching staff, between all the members next to the boys is on a really good level. And this is also a big detail that you can make in the end over a whole season a different. Yeah, and I would say also the flexibility in our style, the variability in our system, everything in this direction help us in the end to pick up points. Yeah, I think this is at the moment, of course, important that everything that you have in the end success comes together and build a really good mix.
So hopefully the next opportunity for that is obviously away at Wrexham Wednesday night. One of the teams new to the level. What have you made of them so far this season?
Yeah, it's also a very interesting team how they step out from a lower league now in the championship, and you can see big investments. So they change completely the team in the summer. What I could see, and also they have with Kiefer Moore, a very experienced player in front. Yeah, I would say. In the championship, yeah, one of the most interesting strikers, very powerful, a big nose for goals, and in the wide areas, Yeah, I think tomorrow this could be a crossball challenge. Yeah, so we have to do everything that they have not in the end the crossballs what they have normal. Yeah, so we have to defend here on a really good level. We have to be on a really good level in box defending and in our transition moments. And this is also what they show us. I would say they have some weakness in transition, especially in the defense direction. So, and in this way, we will find tomorrow some chances for us. So we have to be really good in the wide areas. We have to top in the box defending moments, and our transition must be on top tomorrow. Then I would say we have a good chance also to pick up points there. But it's tomorrow. It's a massive game. They have what I know only one lose at home. All the other things they create points, and the most of the games they won. So now they have, I think, 3 clean sheets on the row, and it's especially a big difference between away games from them and home games from Wrexham, and at home they are a very strong team.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Gerhard, you mentioned the sort of injury problems and the fact you're still up there. Is that a source of excitement for you that, on paper at least, it feels like this team's probably got another gear or two to hit? When you talk about no Luke McNally, no Rob Atkinson, no Max Bird, there could be, when those players get back, another step to hit, really.
Yes, I think this is very logical. Yeah? When you have in the end a bigger selection, when you have, of course, key players always available, then it's the competition is higher. I think no one in the squad can relax only 1 procent point. The next one would step in. So yeah, I would say, yeah, we miss this player. Yeah, we miss this player on a really high level. And on the same time, I would say the boys next to them made a really good job. Yeah? So also maybe some players we have maybe not so on our landscape. They get game time and they realized really good performances. Yeah? And also I would say the whole roster shows me in the last 2 weeks in more direction, like the Watford game. Yeah? So we can trust this roster on a really good level. Yeah, but over a whole season, yeah, we need, of course, hopefully very quick and soon the key players back.
What is Scott Twine's issue exactly? Was it picked up in the Swansea game?
He feels a little bit the quad, yeah, but nothing happened. Yeah, it was more a soreness, yeah, so a little bit the tight feeling, yeah, and but we want to go in zero risky moments with him, and we will see tomorrow what is his feeling and how is this going, but we have no stress in this direction to let him play with not a good feeling.
It's obviously him and Anis have started, I think, every league game this season, but I guess if he does miss out, that's an opportunity for somebody else, maybe like you or somebody else that's maybe not had that game time so far.
Yeah, I think this is so. You comes in, you score, and of course we did it many times in this season that other players come in and I would say they was fresh, they was ready, they was also integrated in the team dynamic on a really high level, and they understand my football. Yeah, maybe it's tomorrow the time for you, or maybe we play again with 2 strikers. We will see. We have. And this is also good right now. We have a flexibility. We can do different things, and yeah, we will see tomorrow how it goes.
That flexibility, when you make the changes like you did at Watford, or that slight twist with Zach against Swansea, how much of that's dictated by the opposition, or how much is that about the sort of style you want to impose on the game?
Is always a little bit both, but of course I think that we create something a little bit different things is also for our own attention really important, that the boys learn and realize different things, and we have in the presentation a different attention when some new things come in. This is also important, and on the same time, of course, it's also about the opponent sometimes, that we adapt a little bit and we do things a little bit different from the shape, that we have different pressing angles, we have a different build-up style, that we have an overload situation in some areas, or we have in the end more dynamic in some areas, or we have a mismatch in a 1-1 situation. So in more directions we plan, and this has also to do with the opponent.
We spoke to Emil on Saturday and he mentioned how he's feeling like fully fit now, 100%. Is he someone you still feel you've got to manage a little bit carefully because of the options up there?
Yeah, I think when we have the situation, we can do it. Yes, we have to do it. We have to be smart here, and this is my responsibility. I cannot bring every game day the same starting 11 on the field. We have a good roster, and we have to realize which player they have a special history with many games in the raw, with injuries, and in this direction we have to find good decisions.
So I know your focus will be very much on tomorrow night rather than Portsmouth, but does that play a part in your thinking because of the quick turnaround? Do you have to have a half an eye on what's coming on Saturday as well?
I think, of course, much more on tomorrow, but on the same time, I would lie, I'm honest. Of course, we have also a little bit the Saturday game in our eye. So strategically wise, we have to deal with Boo's game a little bit, but the big focus is tomorrow, and I'm very excited to play against Wrexham with all the things around them.
Just on a couple of the other players out, I know it was mentioned over the international break, Max Bird hopefully getting closer in the last week or so. Same with Josh Stokes. How are they getting on?
Yeah, right now we have really good feedback, especially also today from Birdie from the individual training sessions. Looks really good. So he made the next step. Everything looks good. Yeah, so we hope the best that he is back super soon. Yeah, and with Stokes is I would say also looks really good. Yeah, he should be also back, I would say, in the next 14 days on the grass with us. Yeah, so then he start in the trainings weeks, and then we look how is everything going. But both players makes a really good picture right now.
I forgot to ask at the weekend about Mark Sykes. Was that one a bit quicker than you expected him being involved in?
Yeah, I think I had a really good exchange with him, and is also we have medical opinions. We have of course from our sports science the opinion, then in the coaching team. But for me, it's super important also the opinion from the player, and he feels ready, and I trust him. He's not a 17 years old player. He's a very experienced player, a smart player, and he knows his body really good, and he gives me in the end the green light.
Just considering the amount of issues we've spoken about, that both sides on wing back at the moment, you've got a lot of options in there, don't you, to pick from, which heading into this busy period, I'm sure you're delighted with.
Yeah, I think this is really good that we have in the end, especially in the wide areas with so high loads, always good options that we can change and protect players a little bit. Yeah, but right now, we have everyone in the selection, in the roster available on the wide areas, and this is a really good signal.
In general, when you have these players come back, and I know there's a few of the younger players to drop out of the bench at the weekend, are they, so you like Leo, Jed, and I think it was Ephraim, wasn't it? Are they still involved with your group like day to day, even when they're not in squad?
Yeah, I would say they are the most of the time with us in the training sessions. They are in the meetings with us, so they know exactly also what we want, and also we have in the end, in this setting, of course, much more control over them, like they would be always between under 21s and us and have different loads. And I think in this direction, it's really good to see how they grow in our team.
Just finally from me, you've had some special days away from Ashton Gate already this season. How much are you looking forward to back-to-back games on the road at two big atmosphere stadiums as well?
I like it. I like it to have in the end games in the raw, and we have these typical English weeks, so many games, and I like, of course, when I have a big selection and we can rotate a little bit. We can be flexible in our way of football, and we play in I would say it's different stadiums, and of course also with I would say a difficulty challenge will come tomorrow, and of course also on Saturday. So we know that, but we handle and deal in the past in a really good way in our away games. We had always the big fan group with us, and we have in the end big support, and on the same time the players makes not a big difference between home or away, so they let everything on the field. We are very very close always to bring our typical style of play on the field, and especially in away games, I think we had some really good performances.